Hey guys, well, I had talked about in a couple videos ago that I was going to try to do my Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation against my Tarte Shape Tape Cloud Foundation. So I've had both of these in my everyday makeup bag. I've been using them. I have a little bit of a better opinion on them now, so I can kind of tell you a little bit more about them and what I think. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. So of the two, which is my favorite? The Tarte. And the reason being, I wanted to love this one as much, if not more, but the Tarte kind of took the top spot because it has a matte finish, and as we all know, I like a matte finish. I do like a very radiant finish. Not radiant, let me draw that back. I like a dewy foundation or a hydrating foundation, let's put it that way. Hydrating is a good word. And this doesn't necessarily claim to be hydrating, it just is a healthy looking skin. So I had very high hopes for this one, and it's not bad. Please don't take that as it's a bad thing, because it's not. Give me 1 second, I need to turn on some heat. I do apologize if you guys hear that. It's just very cold in my basement, so I have to have it. So anyway, so this is not a bad foundation at all. I like it. I like how it applies. I like how it wears. It's just not as good for like longevity. That's the only reason this one I claim just a little bit more of a love for. So to compare the two, there's really no comparison between them. The packaging looks similar, and that's why I thought, oh, I would compare these two. So the finish is different. And it's not the same. There's nothing really to compare here other than the packaging. They're actually both made in Italy. I was just looking. It's just two very different finishes. And so I've reached more for the Tarte. I'm gonna be honest about that. And it's just, I would like a better shade on this one. If you can tell, the shades are just a tad bit different on the two. But I really like this one. So if you have oily skin, this would probably be good for you. If you don't have oily skin, if you don't have combo or oily, you probably won't like this. I'll just be honest with you, because it does have that matte finish. So if you're not looking for a matte finish, you won't like it. But I like them both. But comparing the two, there's not a whole lot to compare because they're so different. So I'm gonna squirt out just a little bit of the Charlotte. Okay, I'm gonna squirt it out. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second. And I'm gonna squirt out a little bit of the Tarte. Okay, so Charlotte, Tarte, you can see consistency is different. So this is called the Cloud Coverage Foundation. It's very moussey. So I'm not gonna blend it out, but I'm gonna show you the shade of it a little bit better. So you see the cloud part of this one is that it's moussey. Can you see that? So there's a lot of mousse in the texture. So let me blend that. But if you can see, I can tell, if you guys can't, that there's going to be a different finish just by looking at it there. The Charlotte's looks a little bit more hydrating. This one looks a little bit more matte. You can just tell there's a difference there. So I was thinking to put these up against each other, you're going to see a huge difference. There's really not a whole lot to compare between the two once I've worn them a little bit more and I've thought about it a little bit more. So instead of comparing these two, I had another idea. I also have this foundation this month. I don't know when I posted the video, but it's the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. So packaging wise, it's very different. I've seen a lot of people compare these two actually. And the shade on it is going to be completely different, but here is the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. So the consistency, you see, it's a runny consistency, much like the Charlotte was. It's a much thinner formula, but it's much more hydrating. So I have 3 different shades, of course. So there's going to be a difference in shade for sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my face because I hate wasting. I'm gonna just go ahead and compare the Nars with the Charlotte, and we'll see what it's like. Is that okay with you guys? Since you're not here to tell me. I hate wasting product, so I just put the Nars on this side and Charlotte on this side, and it's not enough because I kind of blended too much, but I'm going to use a different brush on each side, that way I don't cross-contaminate, and we'll just do that. So I'm just going to start blending out the Nars side really quick, and I'm doing both sides with the brush. So when it's all said and done, I had about 2 pumps on the side, but it's because I had a pump here and then on my face too. So I'm gonna do another foundation brush with the Charlotte over here. And I didn't put a primer on because I wanted to really see what they look like on their own, so we could compare. Okay, so we're gonna kind of let them set just a minute, and then we'll kind of like really look at them really good and kind of take notes. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a little bit about the Nars Foundation, and then I'll read a little bit about the Charlotte too. So the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, it says skin in its best light. See your skin in its best light with Light Reflecting Foundation. This innovative blend of makeup and skincare instantly blurs imperfections, smooths the look of textured skin, and helps conceal blemishes, dark spots, and redness. Visibly improves skin's clarity after 6 weeks of daily use, even after makeup is removed. Powered by advanced skincare ingredients that help defend against environmental aggressors and blue light, it immediately strengthens skin's barrier to help maintain its moisture. Suitable for most skin types, including sensitive skin, medium buildable coverage with a natural finish, breathable all-day wear, 36 shades, makeup that looks like skin, acts like skincare, and feels light as air. So there's just a little bit about it. And one of the reasons I wanted to compare these two as opposed to the Tarte one was because they both have a claim to better skin also. Okay, so the Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation is a new buildable medium coverage hydrating foundation for beautiful, healthy looking glow. Let's see, its claims is that it has hyaluronic acid that gives the skin moisture and revitalizes the skin's outer visible layers. It's smooth to decrease the appearance of oiliness and visibly reduce the look of shine and pores. It brightens to target all the signs of stress in the skin, including dullness, dryness, pigmentation, and dark circles for skin that looks brighter, smoothed, hydrated, and more youthful. It plumps. It improves the skin's ability to hold water by helping strengthen the skin barrier over time for plumper, younger looking skin. It targets uneven texture, dryness, and dullness, and locks in moisture for fresher, plumper, smoother, and even looking skin tone. It defends against pollutant particles from penetrating the skin, and strengthens the skin's barrier to improve the skin quality over time for more healthy looking skin. It's long lasting. It lasts for 16 hours. It's a vegan formula, which so is the Nars. It has a medium coverage and it's hydrating. So, very similar claims between the two, not exact, but very similar claims. So, we can see there is a difference in the shade, but we're gonna just kind of look at the skin and what it's doing for the skin, not the shade. So, let's look at this side, and look at the Nars side of everything. I see that the Nars side is very smooth. I don't have a whole lot of texture on my skin, so I mean there's not a whole lot to smooth, but it looks very smoothing. I didn't put on a primer, but it still looks good even without one. It looks good around my nose. That's always a telltale sign if a foundation is going to wear well for me. It looks good. It covers my redness. I have a lot of redness on my cheeks right through here. I have a dark spot, a few dark spots really, and it's covered those. It looks really good. I really like it. I like the shade match. I didn't blend very well, but we're gonna overlook that. But it looks really good. It has a really great coverage. It says medium. For me personally, I feel like it's a very high medium, almost full coverage. That's just my opinion with a brush. I've not done it with a sponge. I may have, but more so with a brush. So let's look at the Charlotte side. So it's smooth. It's covered up dark spots here. It looks great without the primer. It's doing just as good as the Nars one. So I can't really say hands down this one over that one. I can't say that. I dropped my lid to my Nars foundation, so I can't say go get the Nars foundation because it's way better than the Charlotte foundation, because I don't believe that. I don't. I can tell you from my oily skin which one wears better, and that would be the Nars. It wears a little bit better. I've had people say that it breaks up on their skin, but I've not worn it for like super long periods of time. So I can't tell you that, you know, after like a 12-hour day that it's going to, but I can tell you that about after like 8 to 10, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really time it, but it was good after that amount of time. So I didn't have any issues. I did have a little bit of my oiliness come through. That's normal with foundations. Like that's not anything that I expect to just like go away magically. But it looks good. It looks really great when I powder it. I really like this one, and I choose this one. Like if I have them both sitting in front of me and I can only choose one, this would be the one I chose. However, that doesn't mean that that's better than this one. It just means for my oily skin, that's the one I would choose. The reason being, this Charlotte one is beautiful, and I was reading the claim about it saying, it says that it helps to decrease the appearance of oiliness and visibly reduce the look of shine and pores. I have to disagree with that claim because I can tell you, I can have it on for a little bit, and it's not that it makes me look super oily. It doesn't. It looks good after time. It doesn't look horrible, but I do get a lot more oily with this one than I do with the Nars foundation, and so I do prefer the Nars over that for this reason alone. That over time my skin just looks better with Nars. However, when I put them both on, you can tell that they look gorgeous. I get a little bit better coverage out of Nars. I built up the coverage just a little bit on the Charlotte, but I still, even with my dark spots over here, I feel like they're a bit more covered, and I didn't have to build up the coverage over here than the dark spot over here. I don't know if you're being able to see that. I turned it down just a bit. Can you guys see? Now it looks like these are more visible, but I promise in real life, that is not the case. In real life, you can see this one more than that one. But this one is always more visible too. So we kind of have to just, you know, say win, lose, or draw. So it's not necessarily that, oh, Nars is the only way to go. No, I don't believe that. I'm very happy I have both. I'll just be honest with you. I'm very happy. They're both 1 fluid ounce. They both have a pump. I enjoy that. Let's see, Charlotte has how many shades? Looks like Charlotte has 30 shades and the Nars has 36. So there's a little bit more of a shade range with the Nars. So it's not that, and that's just what I'm looking at. I don't know that I'm right with that. Yeah, it looks like 30 from what I'm seeing. So, just me personally, I just would choose the Nars. However, I'm glad I have both. I'm gonna wear both. I have already used both. It's not that I just hands down don't choose my Charlotte foundation. You can see it's already kind of like losing its shape a bit because I have used it. it is being used. So I've also been using my Tarte one, I've been using all of them. So they've all been in my everyday makeup bag, and that's another reason I wanted to compare is for that reason. So I haven't powdered these down. This is the natural finish of them both. Let's say the finish on the Charlotte. Let's see. It just says a healthy looking skin. So I feel like this side is a bit more hydrating, more dewy than this side. Not that this side is matte completely, just that this has more dewiness to it. So that's my comparison. That's my opinion. that's just what I would go for. And like I said, I'm oily. I have an oily skin type. That's, you know, my preference and what I choose and what I go for. But I think they're both great. I think they're all three great. I talked about this one. I think they're all three great. If I'm having a more drier skin time, which I have been lately, and that's why this one hasn't been used as much as these two, to be quite honest with you. If I'm having more dry patches on my skin, I won't use this just because I don't want anything to cling to the dry patches. If I have and it's not that this is just a bad foundation, it's just if you have more dry patches on your skin and you're not hydrating them, and even sometimes after hydrating them, it can look a little cakey around those dry patches. So my skin has been a bit drier in the colder months, and so I've had to you know, just take a break from the more matte things and do my more hydrating, and then I'll move more into matte again in the summer, which is what I usually do. So that's just my take on things. So I would prefer the Nars myself because of my skin type, but I like both a whole lot. I'm glad I have both. I don't regret buying either. I'm very thankful for them both and what they've done for my skin. So I don't have anything negative to say about either one, or to say, yeah, you need to choose this one over that one. I'm telling you the pros and cons. So if you have a more dry skin tone or skin type, if you have a more dry skin type, you're gonna want this Charlotte foundation, since the prices are comparable. The Charlotte is $44 and the Nars foundation is $49 and Charlotte is $44. So kind of, you know, there's a $5 difference, but they're kind of around the same price. So that's just what you're looking at. You know, you choose what you want to spend it on, what your skin type is, what you think you would like, or if you even want one of these. That's totally up to you. But I have seen people actually compare the Nars to different types of foundations. I saw someone compare this to one of my absolute favorite foundations, which is the Essence Hydrating Foundation. I love that foundation. I, however, don't find a huge comparison between the two, but I've not put them against each other either. And I haven't really worn my Essence in a little bit. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I think that. But had I put the Tarte on though, you would have seen a huge difference in consistency, in finish, everything. It would have been super matte, much more, you know, this is still a radiant finish, but you would have seen a super matte finish. And I don't want to make it sound like it's super matte, but it is a matte finish. I mean, that's what it says. Let me read you the things about it. Why not, since we're talking about it, huh? So the Tarte Shape Tape Cloud Cream Broad Spectrum SPF 15 sunscreen. Oh, I guess it's just saying it has sunscreen in it. I thought it was trying to call it a sunscreen. It's light as air formula with medium buildable coverage. I agree. It is very light and it's very buildable, medium coverage. It's bouncy, cloud-like texture, feels comfy and weightless. I agree. Natural matte finish, looks and feels like skin. I have to agree, it is a natural matte. It's not a super matte. That's a very good way to describe it. Tape technology smooths and blurs imperfections. I agree with that too. Delivers a soft focused effect for a dreamy look. I agree with that. Cloud 9 Complex drenches skin in 24-hour hydration. That's really good to know because I feel like I do get hydration from this too. So I was wondering, you know, how that kind of played in. So that makes me, clears up some stuff. Crease proof formula minimizes look of pores, fine lines, wrinkles, and uneven texture. Again, I don't have a whole lot of texture on my skin. I do have these dark circles and things, but I don't really notice any creasing or anything with this one. Protects with mineral SPF 15 ingredients, pairs perfectly with Shape Tape Concealer. It's vegan, 24-hour hydration, 24-hour crease proof, 24-hour makeup, transfer proof, dermatologist tested. It has snow mushroom to help hydrate, reduce inflammation, and brighten. Licorice brightens appearance and color corrects. Hyaluronic acid and squalene work in harmony to retain and deliver moisture for optimal hydration and a refreshed, plumped up appearance. Prickly pear intensely moisturizes. Avocado brightens the look of dark spots. I noticed that too. I've noticed that it really, not necessarily brightens them, but it just really helps to conceal my bright spot, my dark spots. Aloe helps to soothe. Vitamin E, natural preservative that also acts as an emollient and antioxidant. Castor oil that moisturizes. So I agree with all those. It's just not very comparable to these two that I have on my skin today. That's where we're going with this. So I hope that this was an informative video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I realize I talk a lot and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to stop. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it was informative and maybe helped you if you're trying to decide between the two. It's a little late. I know that these foundations have been out a while, but still I wanted to compare them. And if it's something you're still trying to consider. If you're like me, sometimes I do wait to buy things until I see somebody else's take on them. Case in point, let me just say this and I promise I'll shut up. The Jacqueline Cosmetics Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint and her concealer she just came out with, I was gonna get those. Like I was ready to purchase them as soon as they came out, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna get them from Ulta because I'll get them faster, just because shipping takes forever from Jacqueline if you order from her website. And so I waited. Then I saw some reviews and I was really glad that I didn't purchase it, and I didn't purchase it at all. And I've still kind of went back and forth if I want to. I just kind of want to try it for myself because I've seen some reviews on it. I've seen really good reviews, really bad reviews. There's been a lot of mix out there. So I would just kind of like to just see for myself. But at the same time, like, why would I want to waste my money if I'm expecting it not to be that great? So anyway, sometimes it's good just to see a review or someone's opinion about something before you do spend that chunk of money on something. So this is just my take on it, and maybe it'll help you. So if you're looking for my opinion, here it is. I know not everyone is, and I totally respect and agree with you that my opinion's not the be all end all. However, some people do ask my opinion on the products I use, and I thought that this was a good way to kind of give you that opinion. So thank you for watching. Thank you. I know I didn't do a full face, but I wanted to just focus on the foundation today. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.